Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Constance the Reader. Today we're back with a reading vlog. Okay, so it is Sunday the 6th, I think, 5th or 6th, something like that. And it's been a nice day. Okay, it's a little bit later on in the night. Basically the night has wound down. I worked, Devin and I went out to eat. We got Thai food, delicioso, and then we went to Bugs a Million, and that's where we found out that tomorrow it's supposed to snow 3 inches tomorrow. So wasn't expecting that, but luckily I don't have any plans. So yeah, we're gonna start off this vlog with my Hansama package. So this is like the biggest package I've ever gotten from Hansama. I did a lot of add-ons this time. Of course, a lot of the stuff that I did add-ons for, I was like, yeah, I never see these at my local Books A Million or Barnes & Noble. Like, they just don't tend to show up. Tell me why all these motherfuckers are there. Embarrassing me and everything, but it's okay. Honestly, you get a pretty decent, like, it's not that it's like the hugest discount when you're getting the add-ons, but they're a little bit less expensive than you might get in the store, depending, like if you have a membership or something. So I'm excited for all of these. Basically, a lot of these are the continuation of series that I've already started reading. One, oh, okay, cool. They put the, I was wondering how they were gonna do it, but they put all the in boxes. So I'm assuming, okay, this will be fun. So 3 of them are always going to be the ones that you get in general, because that's what Hansama is. It's a manga subscription box. And I feel like it's probably not this one, but you know what, since it's already in my hand, we'll start. But yeah, you get 3. You can choose between manga or light novels, and the add-ons, you can either continue a series that they gave you in the original box, which is essentially what I'm doing, or try something completely different, which is nice, because like if you showed up a little bit later and maybe you saw some volumes that you were interested in, but it's not going to show up in your box because now it's past that month, you could get into it. So we'll start off first with this one. Nice little wrapping. And let's get into it. Let's just plop that girl out. You know what? This is a nice box though. I might be able to do something with this. So give someone a gift. So I already know what's on the top. So nice wrapped in a cool little Hansama thing. Okay. So first up is The Long Summer of August 31st. I don't know how long this series will be, but I have volume 3. I got the first volume in my Hansama box a few months ago, and honestly, I really liked this so far. I need to read volume 2. It's basically about these 2 young people. They are reliving the same day over and over again. They have to figure out how they're going to get out of this time loop, but they don't quite know how. But it's kind of nice because these 2, specifically him, he's more of a loner. And I think this will be very nice for him because he's going to actually like make friends. And I can't quite remember what her deal is, if she also just like doesn't have many friends, but I might go ahead and reread the first volume just to get back into it. But I like it. Like, it's kind of a bit of a love story, tentatively. Nothing has really totally kicked off. Wait, did I read the second volume? Now I'm thinking I might have. I'm gonna have to reread everything because now everything's jumping in my mind. But I thought it was really cute. I'm excited to see if they actually do develop a romance because I like them and they seem really sweet. This was very important to me. Reanima Volume 2. The first volume was so interesting. It's like basically there are people, the earth is like super fucking hot, okay? Like scorched. If you were to go out in the sun, you would just burn to death. So that's how they developed, basically having clones of regular people. But I think someone's killing the clones and possibly the regular people. I might have to go back and reread the first volume, but I liked the series. I wanted to keep going with it. And I literally could not find this in any bookstore physically. I didn't check their websites. Actually, maybe I did, but not that I wanted to get it on Amazon, but just so I could track when these things come out. You can't even see this one on Amazon unless it just showed up, but for months, couldn't even get that to put on my wish list. Ooh, okay. These next 2, I got the first volume, I think maybe at Books A Million or Barnes & Noble. That is My Oh My Atami-kun, and I got volumes 2 and 3. Or is the first one in here? I'm not sure. We'll see. No, I have the first one. So I got the next 2 volumes. Yeah, exciting. But this is another one that I was really, really, really wanting. And of course, this is the one, the one that showed up and is at both of the freaking Books A Millions, and that is Spacewalking with You, Volume 2. I don't know how long this will be, but honestly, this was so sweet. I really, really, really like this series. I know that this, I mean, I think I got emotional reading the first volume, so I fear I will cry again in Volume 2, but I think that this is really special. Just kind of showing that coming of age moment as a teenager, finding yourself, advocating for yourself, sticking up for yourself and for other people, and making friends. I think this is a really, really, really good story, and I would highly recommend reading this. Next, wait, this is the one that has the 3 for the month. This should be an add-on, I think, yeah. Okay, we'll do add-ons first. Ooh, yeah, okay, I forgot. Now, some of these I actually forgot. Yep, I forgot I put these in here. I'm so excited. Stomp Kick Love Volume 3. Couldn't find this shit anywhere physically near me. I've been wanting the 3rd volume for quite some time. Another one, I don't know how long this will be, but I really, really, really like this. I got the first one in Hansama. It's very, very cute, so I'm very excited. Next, Isekai Samurai Volume 2. I really liked the first volume. I think this one will be a very cute series to follow. Don't know how long it will be, but I'm really excited to continue with this. Yeah, basically, samurai warrior gets isekai'd into like a medieval fantasy world. She was one of the strongest samurai of her time, but basically she kind of gets to the point where she's like, I have no one else to kill. So she asks, and she prays and she asks Buddha to give her stronger opponents. He's like, bet, okay, I'm gonna send you away. And like, she's cutting down dragons, y'all. Like, it's fucking cool. So I like this. I think it'll be really fun. And last, I got Volume 2 of Blade and Bastard, the manga. I really like this series, but again, another one that I never seem to see the next volume until months later. Like, it hasn't been until recently that the second manga volume showed up in Books A Million. Bitch, what the fuck is going on? So, getting excited for her. Now, let's look at the 3 surprises that I hope to God I did not buy these already. I'm looking down, I'm gonna spoil it for myself a little bit. Okay. Not too much, not too much. Ooh. All right. Here we go. Thank God. Nothing I recognize. Okay, the first, so these are the 3 that are the surprise. The first one is Tales of the 100 Monsters Next Door. This looks cute. Ooh, that's some cool art. Ooh. This looks like it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for this one. Next, we got The Terrifying Students at Ghoul School, Volume 1. This one's very short. That looks cute. And I did see this at Books A Million, and it is Kingdom, Volume 1. So there you have it. Hopefully, actually, let me rewind. So today is Sunday. Yesterday we went to Busch Gardens. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I might go ahead and put the footage before this because it wasn't much. It was super busy. But we had a lot of fun with our friends. It was really nice. The lights were beautiful. There was only 2 things open though to like actually do in terms of like a ride, so to speak. And the gondola was fun. I definitely got videos of that, but then we didn't go on that one ride where it's like you sit in like a big ass like pirate looking ship. It swings you back and forth. We did not do that. But 10 years ago when I went for the first time with my friend Toria, Verbolten was open, and I believe we did Verbolten, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there weren't any rides open. It was pretty busy. The lights were very beautiful though. Yeah, so I don't really have much footage. So we'll figure out, we'll see. You all have already seen it or you're about to see it somewhere. So yeah, but it was fun. And yeah, today, Devin and I, we had a lot of fun. It was nice hanging out with them. We're gonna hang out a little bit later, but I have like a little bit of a break so we can read. I did not read much. I feel kind of bad about that because I don't know, like I'm feeling good. I'm not feeling overwhelmed or anything. with work, but I feel like I think maybe sitting here surrounded by, oh, you can't see the ones over there, these giant piles of manga, I think maybe it's making me feel a little bit like slumpish. I don't know, I'm sorry about that. So I might break some of these piles down, hide them from my main line of sight, and then really, maybe that'll help me focus a little bit, because I've been struggling. And I don't like that. I don't like not having read something and have something to talk to you guys about. It bothers me. But this upcoming week, like I said, it's gonna snow tomorrow. I don't have anything going on. I don't think I'm working. I will work Tuesday. So yeah, other than that, it's just work. This week will be over. I get one more week. Work. That week will be over, and then I have a week off. And hopefully my sister will come into town and be able to get to hang out. Everybody knows I love my sister. So I'm kind of like wanting that to sustain me. Getting excited about seeing my sister, and just, you know, as I've said multiple times, trying to just not allow myself to be so sad and drained about anything during this month. Like, I want to be very positive. I want to be very jolly. You can do both though. You can be sad at times, because that's just how grief is, and you can also be happy. So I need to find a medium there. So sorry for getting emotional. Okay, everything's gonna be fine. But yeah. Oh, I did go to Books A Million. Let's just go through these that I got a Books A Million too. Excited about this one. Monster Tribe Volume 2. We talked about, I got the first volume in my Hansama box. This was really good. So I already knew after I finished Monster Tribe, which I read in October, that I would absolutely be picking up the second volume and continuing on the series, because it is just that good. I got the second volume of I'll Never Fall in Love with Ameno. I think the first volume was in last month's Hansama box. Didn't notice that this would be here, so I'm excited about this. Need to read the first volume though. And that is Don't Hold Back, Lord Hades. We got wrapped in plastic. It's exciting. This one I hadn't heard of, but I feel like I might have seen this. Somebody's Instagram. I love their Instagram. I'm gonna put their name on the screen because I love the way their page is. I wish I was that creative to do posts like that. I'm so bad about posting regularly on any type of like social media that's not this. And even that, like, I was doing really good about doing reels, YouTube reels, is that what they are? And then I fell off. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna try to get back into that. But their Instagram is fantastic, and I get a lot of manga recs because they do newly released like slides. They look so good. And now that I'm looking at this more, I think this was on there, and it is Out of the Cocoon. It's not familiar to me in terms of like anything that's on my wish list right now, so I feel like because it looked familiar, it was probably from Instagram. A lover turned into a zombie, a romance set at the end of the world, a sweet indulgence in human flesh. In this haunting anthology, Yuriko Hara presents 4 short stories where love blooms, withers, and decays. Every moment both touching and eerie. The couples in these vignettes transcend gender, morality, and even life itself, weaving together a tapestry of beauty in the midst of despair. Plus, enjoy an exclusive epilogue to Cocoon Entwined, depicting the lives of Youko and Hana after the series conclusion. Yes, exciting. Yes. Other than that, we've got a lot of reading to do. Okay, we still got to read. God, I have to finish School Live. I'm almost done. I have to start all that shit I said I was gonna start. There's still some stuff from October that I said I wanted to read. I still want to start. I want to start at least Ghost. What else did I say I was gonna read? I don't know, girl. But I did finish the book from my book club of My Mom, My Sister, My Cousin, and that was really good. And it was Moon on the Crusted Leaves? Is that what it was? I'm sorry, Moon of the Turning Leaves. And that was by Wabgeshig Reese, I believe. Really good. This was the sequel to Moon Under the Crusted Snow, I believe, correct? Let's double check. Moon of the Crusted Snow. And it's like an apocalyptic setting, but this one is, I think it takes place maybe 10 to 12 years after the first book, and you're following let me make sure I pronounce this right, Anishinaabe people. So it's following, so it takes place in Canada. It's following this indigenous tribe. Basically, the world has collapsed, right? Going back to their roots, living off of the land, but also navigating the fact that like they are capable of kind of surviving, you know, not so much everybody else, if you get my drift. So they're basically 12 years later trying to find a way to scout out a different place to live, because they basically have kind of stayed too long in this area, so the ground isn't really taking to producing crops anymore. There's not as many fish, there's not as many like deer and stuff, so a small group actually leave and start trying to travel. I think so they're from the northern Canada, and they're traveling south, I believe, but I think I don't know if it's southeast or southwest. East? Never eat soggy waffles. East, west. Yes, I do that. Yes, I do have to do that sometimes. But you know, it's kind of going through these towns that are abandoned and seeing what is left, you know, years later. Some of these people not necessarily the people that are actually in the group, but like there's still people being born, you know what I'm saying? So there are kids who have no idea what life was like before this catastrophe. And yes, blah, 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 blah. They're trying to find another place to settle, and they are still having to deal with other people. They are eventually like sometimes running into other indigenous people. But on the other side, they're running into crazy white people, y'all. I mean, let's just keep it real. And it got scary there for a while, but there were so many things about it that were so heartbreaking. And that might be what is going on with me. We had our book club meeting this morning, and I cried several times. Many people died. Some of it was a self-sacrifice, you know what I mean, to help the greater, you know, the greater good. Some of it was, you know, well, still, even that person's death was the same thing. It was like to save, oh my God, it was just too much. I think I'm just, I need to watch or read something that's not going to make me so emotional. So we'll see what happens. I gotta find something, y'all. But I also need to check out what's going on Lezen. Maybe I'll get it back into Winter Wolf. Maybe that's what I should do. Might be a good idea to do that, because that's super like, nothing's really going on, and not in a bad way. I just mean I don't think it's gonna be anything that's gonna hurt me. You know what I'm saying? But yes, we'll talk a little bit later. Hopefully tonight, because why not? We still have time. It's only 6:50, it's only 7 o'clock at night. So we should have time. But yes, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for the long intro. I apologize. And we'll talk again. Okay, so I've read volume 7 and 8 of School Live. Dude, this is getting crazy, okay? And I only have, 4 volumes left? I have no idea where this could possibly go. I really, really, really don't. And I'm so freaking scared. So, in volume 6, the original, it's Kurumi, Yuki, Risan, and I don't remember. Oh, they call her Mikun. That's right. But that's not her name, I don't think. And then the little girl that they picked up along the way, who Risan is kind of like protecting as if she was her little sister because she lost her little sister. They make it to the university because of everything that happened at the school that they were from. So in their like middle school, everything kicked off. A fucking plane fucking blew the fuck up, dude. Someone was in a goddamn plane. I don't know what the hell happened. They fucking fell out the sky. Boom, the school's fucking ruined. It was crazy. And that would make me very mad, because how dare you? How dare you? So they have to evacuate at this point. I think I mentioned in my, maybe not the last reading, but the brawl before that, you know, making stops along the way, figuring out basically that there's little pockets of places that were similar to their school, in that there were people in the school, like the principal and some of the teachers. Their school was treated like a safe zone in a way, so they had bunkers within them, basically alluding to the possibility that that this may have happened, then the government would know that it would happen, right? Possibly even something the government did on purpose. So they're finding these little safe houses, that's a better way, along the way. Some are compromised, some are not. But they are ultimately trying to get to the main, I guess, lab that seems to have produced the virus, produced the medicine to yes. So they get to the university first. Obviously, the university is huge. In the front end, basically, there is a group that will not let them in. So they try to escape. Luckily, they hear on the radio, like, hey, those of you who just were in the front, come to the back. So basically, in this university, it's been split into two different factions. There are the group that's in the front. They are only existing and taking in people who can fight. If you are no longer useful, it's pretty clear that you better hope that you just get abandoned. And that's the worst of it, because the worst of it is a lot of those people from the front are sadistic killers. Specifically, this girl, okay? There's another girl involved with the front group who basically, she's also just as, like, I don't want to say bloodthirsty, but she does a good job of killing, right? She's the psycho one, though. I'm getting the impression that the other girl is not a psycho, not too much of a psycho, I guess, but she's a real fucking crazy bitch, right? She's killing people for fun. And that was one of the reasons why the main group broke into two, and that's who rescues them in the back end. Okay. I don't really know how to describe the girls. Like, I'm sorry. This was that girl I was talking about who's, like, also kind of, she's from the front group and she kills easily. These two girls, and then there's two more, I believe, her, they're in the back, and they basically did not want to be a part of the front group because of the way they behaved. You know, they were like, we don't really want to do this. We don't want to, I think at the same time, it's like, they know that, like, look, this is the reality. We can hope that someone will come, and both groups still hope that, but at the end of the day, there's a different level of, like, someone having, like, I don't want to say a personality, but, like, they have power in the school. So they're playing video games, they're watching movies. They're not necessarily mobilizing to kill all of these zombies and, like, have, like, a fucking bunker thing where it's only people, like, it's just like a military style situation. And you see that there were some people who were left in the front who maybe wanted to go with these girls, in my opinion. I think it included this girl. But yeah, so the main person in the front group is a guy, although I don't feel like he has as much control as he thinks he does, and that this girl is really the one who is calling the shots because she's so evil. But anyway, basically, you know, our main four are like, yeah, our main goal, even though we would like to stay here, our main goal is we want to get to this corporation. So they kind of convince the new girls to come along with them, but they're going to leave some people behind, and some people will go on the journey, because obviously Risan and the little girl, you know, it's going to be hard to take her right into something that might be even more dangerous than what they've already experienced. So she's choosing to stay back, especially because, you know, she's now at this point where I feel like she's kind of broken mentally now. All of these people, all these young people are so, I mean, it's horrifying, and I feel so sorry for them. But she's wanting a sense of normalcy with taking care of this little girl. And it sucks to say this, but as a replacement for her little sister who is clearly dead. You know what I mean? So she's going to stay behind. I think she was going to stay behind too. And then the library lady. So there's a woman on here. I think she's on this one. Yeah, her. She's the one who is always staying in the library. I really like her. But they have a plan. Some are going to stay behind, some are going to go. And if everything goes well, they'll come back for them, or they'll come stay with them. The front group, though, there's one kid with them, a younger, maybe not younger, but he is much smaller than everybody else. He may have been bitten,
may have been sabotage. I don't know, but he turns into a zombie. We don't know why. Ooh, I almost forgot. There's also one other person in the school, and she's in the science lab. She's basically separate from everyone except... okay. I think that they know, in the normal people who saved the original 4, I think they know that she's in the science lab, and they make a point to be like, don't go there to the 4. Well, you know, what's her face? And I love Mikun. I love her, but, you know, she's got to explore. She's got to figure out for herself, so I can appreciate that. She goes to the science building. She finds out that there's actually a survivor in there, and she's purposefully separating herself from both groups because she's testing the zombies, and she's basically trying to find out if she can save people. I'm wondering now if she's the reason why that kid... Because basically the front group, they would have known that he'd been bitten. So something happened. I think that she did that on purpose, and I don't know for what. I only got 4 volumes left, so this is crazy, but blah, blah, blah. He gets bitten. The front group insists... Oh, actually, no. I actually think I have a different idea. Insists that it's of either the 4 girls who just showed up from the outside world or the girls that split away from them. Okay? I think it was her. I think she was the one who did that to the guy because he was weak. And she likes killing. She likes killing people. She's a psychopath. So she may actually be the reason. And she may be the reason why all this is kicking off, because she wants to kill the other girls. Because she's a fucking freak. She's a fucking freakazoid. Okay? And I hate people like that. I don't mind us, like, you know, being kind of stern. I don't know if that's the right word, but to survive. But, like, I wouldn't even say she turned off her humanity. I don't think she ever had any. Because as soon as things kicked off, she was killing people. Bitch. Okay. Moving on. Blah, blah, blah. Now they're determined. They're like, oh, we're going to come in here. And we're going to fucking basically kill everybody. Her plans are to kill. Okay. The main dude who's supposed to be the leader, I don't think he actually wants to kill anybody. And I don't think she wants to kill anybody either. But this bitch, oh yeah, she's off a rocker. Anyway, they've pretty much caught everybody except Kurumi. Kurumi is clearly... She was bitten. She was given the medicine, and she was saved. But at this point, she is like a daywalker. She has no body heat. She is starting to have visions, I think, of eating people. And I don't know if that's unfortunately accelerating because she's freaking out so much. And it's almost like, okay, of course it's going to turn out this way because you're kind of bringing it into, you're like manifesting it. But she took somebody out. She took somebody else from the front group. Thank God. I didn't like the way that he said things. Okay, I didn't like the sound of it. He figures out something's up with Kurumi. He's obviously going to kill her. She says, oh, hell no, bitch. And I'm glad for it, because who are you to kill me, bitch? Who are you? So these people, okay, let me think about it. So it's the main dude, her, side ponytail bitch, which is her. And now I'm thinking, was there anybody else with them? Let me see. Because, like, to me, there's more people from the, yeah. So, okay. So it was her, and her. This guy's dead now. He's the one who came after Kurumi. So I guess it was almost evenly matched. But I think they may have had one other, no, they didn't. Because they had one other person. They had the kid who got bitten or is murdered, right? So they had 5. They had 4. You can't really count the chick in the science lab because she's so separate. But now, bitch, y'all are down to 3. So there's actually less of them than there are of them. And I hope that they kill them because fuck you. How dare you, bitch? Because, yeah, it's these 4. We're not counting the little girl. And then you have so it's 8 against 3. 8 against 3. Did I just do my math right? Yeah. Girl, my stomach. Yeah, so it's 8 against 3 at this point. So, but they have weapons. And we know that they like to kill. They like to kill, Lord. Anyway, so now we're going to get into these 3. I'm going to take a break because I think I will be finishing this today. And I will be reading it because there's just no way I could just stop at the way that ended in volume 8, dude. Like, I don't want anything to happen to them. I don't want them to die like this. I especially don't want the other 4 to go, these new girls that are from the back, because they obviously don't deserve to die. But I fear that someone will die. You know, I really, really do. And then we'll get to these. We'll start reading the other things. I don't think I'm going to finish The Entanglement of Rival Wizards anytime soon. But we're going to try. We're going to keep reading. I don't know how many chapters I have left, but we'll get into it. So I'll see you again. Welcome back, everybody. Hello. We are in my office right now because we're going to be switching it up a little bit. I realized I've never done anything like a office reset. And there are some things that I really do need to clean in my office. You'd think, oh, you know, we're looking good, everything's fine. But then you take a turn, okay? You notice how I didn't go the other way? Then we get here. Yeah, we've got some stuff we have to put away. It is actively snowing outside, which is exciting, but also, holy shit, it's snowing. So I've got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of time on my hand. I'm also trying to upload, airdrop some of the videos from last vlog. It's going to be taking a while. Unfortunately, I've been sitting in here for maybe, I don't even know how long. I think I watched most of King of Reed's video, and this has been still going for some time now. Don't get excited for that right there where it says tour. Room tour. I filmed a room tour not too long ago, but once again, I hate the way it looks. It didn't have Devin helping me, so here we are. Part of the last reading vlog, or is it the one I'm doing now? I can't remember. I talked about how I was really wanting to put those hexagonal lights up. I never did. I asked Devin. He did say he would help me, but he had a really hard day at work, so his back was hurting, so we didn't end up doing it. But I think I'm really like at the point where like I just want to get it over with, so we're going to be doing some cleaning. Oh, not only that, but that's all new. So like how I need to work it is I've got some volumes that are new. These are all from the haul I did last week. That's the unhaul bag right there. I'm just slowly taking stuff out. Like I have to remove some stickers because some of the stuff is used, but I'm going to be organizing a lot of stuff. Now, in terms of like doing anything special with my room, I'm not going to be reorganizing things and moving things around because pretty much everything is where it's going to stay. Like I'm not going to move those. They're bracketed to the wall. I think that this wall looks fine. This looks good. And honestly, I just recently cleaned this up. All of this is Magi, but I put all of the older, most of the older volumes. You can see the Bunga Stray Dogs there. It's not the same as like Hot Gimmick and Say I Love You. But yeah, I don't know what I want to do with Magi yet. I was thinking about clearing off like a space, something on here, but I don't know. Then I was thinking, should I, you know, since I've read most of what's up here, should I find a different spot for it? It's hard to say. And I'm also scared that I'm going to be bogging down these floating shelves, which is what happened to make me need this thing in the first place. So I need to find a better solution for the stuff that's on these shelves because, like, for example, she's kind of coming away from the wall. Now, she's braced, but so are the other ones. So I need to be careful. I don't want to have that same issue. This one had also been sagging, but I went back and like helped it out. So we're going to see what we can do. We're going to see. So the goal for right now, find a home for these guys because we've already talked about them. Find a home for these guys because these came off of this shelf. And then some of these are manhwa that I don't plan on reading just yet. Like, Villains Are Destined to Die. I don't know where solo leveling is. Maybe I put that upstairs already, but we're going to get it together. We're going to clean off my desk and maybe, just maybe, I can get the hexagonal lights up on the wall. Part of it is that I have to look at that video again of how the dude did the hexagonal lights. Because you have to be pretty specific, and once it's on the wall, the sticky part doesn't come off. Like you're going to rip the paint off the wall, unfortunately, but I'm aware of that and I'm accepting it. Anyway, let's go.
We'll get it done. We'll talk about it. I'm going to be actively watching videos as I'm working. And yeah, hopefully we have a nice little update. At the very least, you'll see a more clean and organized room. Might not see the hexagonal lights up, but I'll make it so it'll be easier for Devin to help me later. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so got my bag. We're going to be making a few trips upstairs, and basically anything that I have either read already and don't plan on rereading right away, like I'm not going to get rid of, I will be taking upstairs. In the bag is just After God, Villains Are Destined to Die, Nezumi's First Love. I probably won't read Tokyo Aliens right away. Barber, put it over there. Like, I'm probably not going to read Thunderbolt Fantasy right away. I'm not going to read Dark Moon right away. I just got the second volume of Reanima. I'm going to reread this because I don't remember what happens. A lot of this stuff is going to stay down here because, like, I just recently got it. But I'm going to take some stuff upstairs. Okay, so let's think. This was 8, so this goes away. Thing. I'm kind of like in the middle. I don't have volume 4, and I think Satoko Inada is 4 volumes, if I remember correctly. I can never find the 4th volume, which I need to keep looking for that. But I'm like, should I? This is like the frustrating thing is because like I should probably read this before I decide to put it up. That's my issue. That's my issue. You know, maybe I should just take this bag out of my room completely. I don't know. But I'm already starting to have an issue. Okay, so we'll put Hellsing upstairs because I don't see myself reading that right away. I have all 10 volumes, so this will go upstairs. Well, it's not that that gives me a lot of room. It just gives me space for above there. What was down here? Oh, this is where that was. Okay. I'm going to take all of Solo Leveling that I have upstairs, but I need to be careful because this bag will probably rip. So I'll be right back. So, what I have done, I've vacuumed and swept. I've dusted a little. I watched that video I mentioned about the hexagonal lights, and I'm feeling intimidated, which is why I didn't put it up to begin with. But okay, the more I'm thinking about it, I think it actually will be okay, maybe, because I think my issue was that I was thinking I had to start at the top, but no, you want to start from the bottom and go up. But I want to do a triangle. I don't know. I need to believe in myself because it's probably not that, it's not as scary as I think it is, but it's easy to be scared. Am I right? It is easy to be scared. I don't know. I don't know what I should do next. Okay, I just need to pick some more stuff to keep going up and down. But first, I need to take care of this. What I also want to do is I want to make a reel. I know I already did a haul video, but I think I want to do like 2 more like mini haul videos from what's here, which was what I was kind of saving this stuff for anyway, and why I hadn't put it away just yet, because it just makes it harder for me to go back and forth when I've put them on the shelves. So, what should we do? I guess we'll do this first. Put you for here. So, if anybody was wondering, if anybody was wondering how I do what I do, I kind of just move this out of the way, set this up here where I'm standing, have my chair, and I usually like take the videos. I mean, I always take the reels that are of like me flipping the books. I do them in front of this, which is essentially like what I had when all of this stuff, when my setup, my backdrop was over there. There's just not the best lighting there. So I don't know, but maybe I'll try to fuck with it. See, the nice thing is like, it's so bright in this corner. I don't ever have that window open, or the blinds open. So I get most of the light coming from here. So it's darker on that side. We'll obviously do a different color. I'm not going to do the rainbow because it'll be kind of weird on the video. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should. I'm kind of pointing in. But yeah. We'll see, girl. We're gonna get it together. But yeah, we'll face it here. We'll do some reels really quick because it's a productive snow day today. Am I right? And then we'll keep it moving because that way I don't have any reason to keep these here. Duh. I can go ahead and start putting those that I hauled over here, and then we'll keep the juices flowing. And maybe I'll even go so far as to do a mini haul of those because let's be honest, y'all know I'll order some more. I ordered stuff on the fucking Books A Million Cyber Monday deal, so I'm waiting for certain volumes to get sent to me because some of them are pre-orders for I think the 9th and the 16th of December. And then I've got a few other manga that haven't come out yet. It would still be a pre-order, but what else did I get? Yes, no, that's it. I'm just waiting for those. So even if I show you guys that, you won't see everything that I will have been getting. But yeah, let's see. You know, sometimes I want to take Attack on Titan and put it upstairs too, because what are the odds of me actually reading Attack on Titan right now? Probably very low. Very, very, very low. Anyway, don't get distracted. You'll see me again in a second after I do some of this. Hopefully by the time we come back, this will be clear and only have the new stuff on this table. Wish me luck. Hello. All right. So it is Tuesday. It's been a great day. Okay. My back is absolutely killing me because I've essentially spent most of the day in my office editing the video from last week, which ended up being almost 2.5 hours long, missing 4 clips, okay? And not even 4, I think it's actually 5. And so I can't put those in. I can't put those in. It's gonna be way too long. It's gonna be 3 hours, if not more. And I know that I'm constantly apologizing for the vlogs being long. I appreciate those of you, actually most of you, no, if you don't like them, I usually don't mind feedback, but please don't tell me. Just tell me that it's okay. But I know I'm constantly apologizing for being so long, and people are really kind and they're like, oh no, it's not that big of a deal. But like, I'm in pain, okay? Like I'm literally in pain from hunching over, I can't do it. So I can't do that to y'all. I can't make it 3 hours and some change, okay? That would be too much. So we're just gonna talk about that stuff and then everything I have read so far. So let's I might actually start with what I did read and then we'll save those for last because I'm gonna have to read the back. Like I feel like I already forgot what they were about just because I've just been sitting in front of the computer listening to everything else that I read and everything else I explained, so I have to go back. Girl. All right, so I started and finished Monster and Ghost Volume 1. This is really interesting. The next volume comes out next year. I'm not sure when. I think it is early on in the year, maybe in the March, April time. I'll put the picture up. I'll put the release date. It could change, but we're gonna put the second volume up and you'll see. This one was actually pretty good, but I didn't necessarily like the pacing at first. I was a little confused. I felt like things were happening very quickly and then not being explained too well, if that makes sense. Not that I disliked it, just that like, okay, so I don't know how to explain it. You'd have to be in my mind to understand what I mean by that. But let's read the back so I don't go on too much of a tangent. Tsubaki Koton is a monster. That's this guy here. A violent delinquent with a chilling past and a terrifying image to match. No other student dares to approach him, not even after transferring to a new high school. His anti-heroic acts of selflessness end only in bloodshed and rumors that spiral out of his control. Then, one fateful night, he's followed home by a stranger who sets out to change his life for good. This boy, stubborn and hauntingly beautiful, is a pure-hearted Kabuto Yuki. With his stunning jewel-like eyes that see past Tsubaki's fearsome facade, but although someone finally sees Tsubaki for who he truly is, Kabuto cannot be seen at all. After all, Kabuto is a ghost. I did really like this. I am really into like the ghost thing, but then at the same time, it's like, where do you go from there? You know, where like Beautiful Nightmare, it's not done yet, but where do you go from there when he's having a relationship with a ghost? Does he die? Does he go to forever? I don't know. But same thing here. Obviously, there is something brewing between him and Yuki, but Yuki's a ghost. Like, what can come from that? Will it just always be like, I love you and your ghost form? I don't know. But I found this one interesting. Like it said, Colton is this scary guy who so many people are frightened of, and he is constantly dealing with some issues with violence. But what you, like it said, as you eventually come to know him, it's like, it's usually a reaction to someone doing something to him. So he's strong. Why would you mess with him? I don't know. He beats people up. Awesome. But he has stabbed a few people. We eventually find out, like, there's actually more to that story, and he's really not somebody who actively bullies people and harms people just for the sake of it. He actually does a lot of saving people and avenging people, even if other people don't realize it. He's also super hot, which comes into play many a time. It's almost funny because he wears his hair in his face in the very beginning of the series, and eventually, and I mean, that adds to his scariness, right? I mean, here he is covered in blood, girl. Of course. I mean, look, I might be scared too, but when he eventually starts to like pull his hair back, all of the girls and some of the guys who are like, oh my God, he's so hot. So those panels are really funny. But there's more to him than meets the eye. But then a chance encounter with someone from his past, the violent part of his past, comes up, and it is complicated. I won't give anything away, but honestly, it's really, really good. I'm really interested to see what happens in the second volume, because Yuki, the ghost, I guess because he chose to haunt Kotan, he's linked to him, right? So if he is away from Kotan for too long, he kind of ceases to exist. I don't know that that necessarily means that he passes on. It just means that you don't see him anymore. But what does that really mean? Can he eventually find him again? I don't know. So what ends up happening in the very end of this volume is something similar to that. I won't give too much away, but I want to see where this goes. And of course, like I said, like, what do you do with a ghost? You know, how do y'all do that? I don't know. Next, getting into the things that I said I wanted to read, 10 before the end, Smoke and Parade Volume 1. This is really good. This is by the same mangaka as Dead Man Wonderland. I finished that in the month of November, I believe, and 10 out of 10, very good. This, I already know it's going to be really good. We'll read the back. Youko has spent much of his young life caring for his wheelchair-bound sister, Mirai. But now the revolutionary new medical techniques developed by the Amenatori company have given Mirai not only a new pair of legs, but also her freedom, and perhaps something more. Rare but serious side effects may include mindless acts of extreme grotesque violence. Enter the Jackalopes, an elite squad fighting to expose Aminatori's secrets and rescue its victims. But even if Youko joins the mercenaries, can anything be done to save his sister? So you're seeing a lot of similarities with Dead Man Wonderland in this, which I don't dislike. I really, really like it. I'm enjoying it. I know I've only read the first volume, but I already pulled the second volume. Very good. What can I say? Absolutely fantastic. Give me more. I like where this is going. The art style is fucking awesome. Just like Dead Man Wonderland. I mean, even our main characters look almost identical to the ones, some of the ones we saw in Dead Man Wonderland, which I like because I really like those characters. But this is really good. Fast-paced, grotesque, as it said, very bloody, very gory, but I'm really, really excited about where this story will go in terms of possibly having to take down another organization that is, at least in this, it seems as though Amenatori is harvesting people's organs and doing something funky with them, and yeah, there's more to it, and I'm really excited about where it's going. Okay, now for what we read, I forgot to talk about. All right, Rock is a Lady's Modesty, Volume 1. I don't think Yeah, no. I didn't talk about this in the one before last. So this is really good. I started the anime on this. This does have an anime. It's on High Dive, I believe. And this was fantastic. I remember seeing either a TikTok or something on Twitter about this. Knew I was really interested in it. Started watching the anime because I didn't get this manga yet. Anime is really fantastic. Got this in a Hansama box. Really, really happy. When her mother marries into high society, Lisa Suzunomiya is forced to leave her commoner ways behind. Now enrolled at an elite all-girls academy, she's expected to smile politely, sip tea, and hang up her beloved guitar for a violin. But when she hears drums echoing from the old school building, Lalissa is dragged into a jam session with the secretly rebellious young lady, Otoha Kurogane, and her passion for music is reignited. High society better watch out. The academy's most demure maidens are teaming up to form an elegant rock band, the likes of which the world has never seen. I'm excited for this, especially because if you look at the anime, the cover photo, you kind of see some of the other people who are involved in the band. I haven't met them yet in the anime because I kind of fell off. I feel bad about that, but this is so good. I would say that the drawings are fucking awesome, okay? When they are actively jamming out, it's so intense. You can feel it, right? You can literally feel this as you read it. And when you're watching an anime, don't get me started. It gave me chills. Like, it was so good. But I freaking love this. I cannot wait to see where this goes. I would recommend watching the anime, start the manga. I don't know if it's I don't know how many volumes this will be, and I don't know if volume 2 is out already, but I will be getting the second volume. This was also in the Hansama box with Rock is a Lady's Modesty. It was this, that one, and Nazuna's First Love, I think. Nazumi's First Love. I read that in the previous one. It was pretty good. This one is a tomboy who dresses to impress. Wakaba is cocky, condescending, foul-mouthed, and absolutely in love with her childhood friend, Daiki. For as long as they've known each other, Wakaba's been the very image of a roughhousing tomboy, but all that's about to change when she shows up in front of him wearing a cutesy feminine outfit. Will she get the hopeless late bloomer's heart racing? When you can't put your feelings into words, an image change might just be the right gambit. I thought this was really cute so far. I'm interested to see where this will eventually go. But this was cute. Okay. I don't really have much to say about it. It's cute and I like it. Oh, and then these three were in the same Hansama box, I think from October. And it was Killed Again, Mr. Detective, Hollow Regalia, and Guillotine Bride. When I first talked about these in the clip that, should I just put that in there? Maybe I'll talk about this. And if I don't like it, I'll insert the clip instead. But as I was talking about these in the initial explanation, I'm not putting in here, possibly. It was like the more I talked about it and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, oh, okay, I could actually see myself continuing these series, because initially I didn't hate them, but I didn't like them enough to say like, oh, I have to keep going. But then the more I thought about it and the more I thought about the ending of all of them, I was like, oh, okay, actually I could see myself continuing on with these. I would say of the three, if I had to rank which ones I liked in order, I would probably go Killed Again, Mr. Detective, Hollow Regalia, and then Guillotine Bride, I think. They're all interesting. They're all really interesting. Killed Again, Mr. Detective is about a young guy, this guy here. He is a detective. He is the son of like a pretty big and well-known detective as well. And it seems as though both of them cannot die. At least I was getting the impression that his dad couldn't die, or I'm sorry, I should rephrase that. They can die, they just come back to life. So any brutal way that they die, they feel it, they experience it, they die, and then they come back to life. I got the impression that that was also his dad, but with the way this ended, maybe not so much, we'll see. But this was interesting. I think the thing that kind of threw me off was our main character, he is a young person, obviously. He doesn't really take super duper serious cases. He leaves that for his dad and other people. He kind of takes the more mundane ones, and he decides to take one which will take him on a cruise, hoping to find out if the client or the client who hired him wants him to find proof if the client's husband is cheating. The client's husband is a director. And to me, that was not that interesting. And I was like, oh God, is this going to be all it is? Like him just kind of following around and da-da-da. But then more happens and it's like something completely different than that initial case happens that he ends up solving. And that's what made it interesting. So I ended up liking it. Don't really know what her deal is. She is kind of like an assistant-ish. It's hard to really place what her role is, but I'm sure as the story progresses, like I will find out. But with the way it ended, I was like, oh shit, I actually think I might want to continue reading this. Then you've got Hollow Regalia. This one was interesting too. Very similar thing of someone who can't be killed completely. They will either get back up or be healed, you know. Like you can hurt them, they will heal. But we'll read the back for this one. In a world where Japanese people were almost completely wiped out, Yahiro spends his lonely days working as a salvager in the wreckage of Japan. Despite routinely being gutted by Moju, the monstrous beast that roamed the ruins, he makes it home every night without a scratch on him thanks to his body's mysterious regenerative powers. But one evening, he's ambushed by twin girls named Yuli and Rose, and these supposed art dealers have a dangerous mission for him, something only he can help them with. This ended up being really good, especially the ending, because the whole point of the mission that he's being tasked to help with is to possibly kill the leader, main boss of the Moju, these monsters. But there's obviously more to it than that, and there may be like hybrid people, Moju situation that might throw the mission off, if you will. But that ending, that's what made me really interested, because as I was reading, I was like, I can take this or leave it. And technically I can still take it or leave it. It's not bad, but it's not super good either. Does that make sense? I don't know. I see the potential. I don't know that I will continue to physically buy any of these three, but I could see myself continuing it. Maybe I'll see if I can read it digitally. But yeah, not bad, not bad. And then lastly, Guillotine Bride. I'm just a dragon girl who will destroy the world. We'll do this one again. Renee Iriko, a girl with the potential to bring the world to ruin, has been sentenced to death. But on the way to the guillotine, a sudden incident sends her crashing down to earth, right in the path of Ryunosuke Dazai, a boy who's eager to help save Renee and in the world. All he has to do is marry her. Again, the ending was good enough to make me want to continue the story, but I don't think I can see myself buying any more of these volumes. I don't know. So realistically, I'm probably going to sell these to Second and Charles, just because if I don't see myself continue on with the series, I'm probably not going to reread it either. I'm getting hot, girl. Lord. Okay. I did read a few more not a chapter. I think I read a chapter of the Entanglement of Rival Wizards. They're about to have sex again. Thank you, God. I am loving that. I am literally giggling. If I were laying flat on my stomach, my legs would be kicking up in the air. That's how much I really like this. It's so good. I think it is really, really well written. What is progressing between the two main characters, I'm really, really liking. I wonder what's going to happen for them to have I assume that there will be a falling out, but I think it's going to be a miscommunication on both of their parts. I think that Theo won't explain the situation correctly, or his family is going to steal the research data without him knowing. And obviously that's going to upset Sebastian a lot. As we've already talked about, Sebastian has a really short temper. He is quick to be angry, and he is very explosive with his anger. So we'll see what happens there. Who's to know? But they just had kind of a standoff with someone in Theo's family about the research stuff. And I just love the fact that they finally got on the same page for now. You know, this is a romance, so you never know how it's going to go. You don't know if there's going to be the third act breakup type thing or what. But I'm glad that they're finally on the same page in terms of sticking up for each other and not fighting about dumb shit. I think that they're always going to kind of butt heads because Sebastian is who he is and Theo is who he is. But I'm liking it. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens with the families. I think what's going to end up happening, though, unfortunately, is one of the people that's working with Theo, that is a part of his family, her name is Arasne. And I think that they're going to find out who Sebastian's dad is, and they're going to bring him into it, and they will maybe somehow work together to try to steal the stuff. I don't know. Or, yeah, use the dad who wants the promotion to find a way to steal something. I don't know, like trick Sebastian into letting his guard down, his parents come over, and then he steals it to give to Arasne. That would be interesting, but I don't think that this will end badly, but I don't want anything bad to happen. That's the crappy part. I don't know. But yes, I have a lot of stuff to read. It is almost 6 o'clock, I believe. I am craving spaghetti, so I told Devin I will order the Olive Garden if he picks it up on his way home from work, because I don't know, I want something that has a sauce. You know when you just want something that has a sauce? Spaghetti. Almost anything from Olive Garden would be good. I'm liable to just be like, let's go out to eat. I don't know. No, it'd be better if he just brought it home, because like I don't want to cook anything, and I don't want him to have to cook. Like I just want to eat. Does that make sense? Because he doesn't actually eat spaghetti. I know, sick. He only eats with angel hair pasta. And I'm not trying to disparage those of you who like angel hair pasta, because my husband likes angel hair pasta, but I don't. I don't like angel hair pasta. I don't even want it near me, okay? I want regular spaghetti noodles because they're the fucking best. And then we can get into the spirally noodles. But I don't like angel hair. I don't like it. Something about it doesn't sit right with me. And I don't enjoy it. I don't like the look of it. I don't. I just have to speak my truth. But yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling exhausted. My back is killing me. Ugh, my God. Tomorrow I work, and I still gotta upload. I still gotta finish editing this goddamn video for the most part. So we'll see what happens. But we'll talk later, hopefully. I have a ton of stuff that I have to read on Lezen. I unlocked a bunch of stuff, and then there's other things that I have to like keep track of. So maybe we'll get into that, but we'll talk a little bit later. I'm excited for the spaghetti. Everybody be excited for the spaghetti for me. I know you will see this after I've had the spaghetti, but in spirit as you're watching, I'm excited. Let's all get excited for spaghetti or the tour of Italy. Oh, who knows? I haven't had a lasagna in a minute. So maybe tour of Italy. Spend a little bit of extra money on myself. Tour of Italy. But see, I don't want chicken Alfredo. It's not even chicken Alfredo. It's just Alfredo. I don't know. Alfredo's fine and all. Now, I don't hate Alfredo. I'm just not in the mood for it. I want spaghetti. I want a red sauce. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk later. I'll stop rambling. Yeah. Okay, hello. I'm sorry. Oh, man. I just read volume 9 of School Life. Fuck, I forgot to get a tissue. Oh, man, this one was hard. Oh, this was hard. This was really hard. I'm really sad. Okay. So, spoilers ahead, everybody. Okay, so, okay. Get it together. Alrighty, so, like I talked about last time, the 4 main girls made it to the college. They realized that there's 2 different groups in the college. One that's in the front of the building, one that's in the back. The people who stay in the front shot at them and basically said, you can't come in here. And when they were trying to escape, the group from the back called them in and was like, hey, you can stay on this side of the campus. And we then find out, like, there's a big difference between the front and the back. The back side, or the 4 girls that are in the back, they basically are, they're almost similar to our main 4, right? And they've just had the ability to kind of live safely in the back of the college, and they haven't had any desire to leave.
And the people at the front, they're more so the ones who are fighting. We've got some real sadistic fuckers in the front who are getting off on killing people, clearly. And these two don't always communicate. And we see that starts to break down, the fact that they don't communicate, and the animosity that the front group has to the back group, when one of the people in the front end up basically turning into a zombie, but they didn't leave the building. So the people in the front believe that the four new girls, so Yuki, Ri, Mi, Megumi, I think that's the teacher's name, and Karumi, they think that they somehow infected their dude. They obviously didn't. They jumped to conclusion, but we know they're bloodthirsty at the front of the college, so what do you expect? Nobody in the back understands what's going on with this group, right? So the fact is that the people at the front are now plotting on trying to basically take everybody hostage and get to the bottom of it, because they believe that the new girls and possibly the girls from the back are responsible for this. Simultaneously, the girls in the back are planning half of them leaving the college and half of them staying. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry again. And the plan was Karumi, Yuki, and me would leave with, I think, maybe two of the other girls from the back. And then Ri was going to stay with what's-her-face, the little girl. And then, like, two of the other girls. Actually, maybe three. And there's also this other person in the science building who's, like, completely separate from both of them. And she's just, like, fucking testing on zombies to try to figure out what's going on. Okay. So they're trying to leave. The front group has already decided we're gonna get them, because they think, as they see them making preparations, they're like, oh, see, they're leaving. They killed our person. Now they're leaving. So then everything pops off. Okay. Everybody gets separated. This is what was so hard. This is the thing that's making me so emotional. I'm sorry. Okay. All the girls, they're kind of separated. They're trying to find each other. And, I'm really sorry. This was really sad. I was not expecting that to be what happened. So the youngest girl has been separated from the main four and the other four. Actually, everybody's been separated, but no one can find the little girl. And then we find out that she was never real. She was a teddy bear in Risan. And basically, the same thing ended up happening to her that happened to Yuki. You know, she has a mental breakdown. She's missing her little sister. She's coming to terms with the fact that her sister is dead. And I think the thing that hits harder is not just that. It's not just that. Girl, calm down. It's not just that she was a teddy bear the whole time. It's that when they got her the first time, they, like, this was like 2 or 3 volumes ago. They believe that there might be someone in whatever building that they came across. They're like, oh, someone might still be alive. And they can't find anybody. And then Risan goes in there and she comes out with the little girl, but she never did. She came out with the teddy bear. And it's just, I think it's so sad reading this, because it's like these young girls. I mean, can you imagine living like this? I can't imagine that. I can't imagine. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine if that happened to me. I know I'm a little sister, and Risan was a big sister. But imagine if, like, that happened. I don't know what I would do if that was my circumstances. Would I be able to handle knowing that my sister's not here? Would you eventually get to that point too, where you have to find something that would keep you going? It just my heart breaks for these characters. I know they're not real. but it's still so painful. You know, Yuki, she's trying so hard. And it's not that she's necessarily better. It's just that I think that she's able to cope better. She still sees certain people. She still sees the teacher, I think, sometimes. But she's trying. She's trying to be useful like the other girls are. And it seems like she probably had... Now I feel like I can't remember when that happened exactly, when she really, like, put her foot down. Was it before they had to leave or was it after? Now I can't... I have to go back and look. But imagine if I'm remembering it correctly, I feel like it came after they picked up the little girl who ends up being a teddy bear. And I think maybe Yuki was like, okay, I need to get myself together because now the other person who has been like very strong, they're going through something. And it's just hard. Kurumi is clearly turning into a zombie. That's also hard to watch because she doesn't want to hurt her friends. I'm so sorry. That was just like so shocking. I didn't expect her to not be real. And now the girls are leaving and some are obviously staying at the school. But she gives the teddy bear to one of the people from the front. She's like, "Will you take care of?" I think the little girl's name was Rue. "Will you take care of her for me?" And it's like, the girl in the front who was in the leather, the girl from the front was like, "I can do that." Apparently she's pregnant. I'm devastated. I'm devastated. I did not expect that. That was so heartbreaking. And at this point, I don't even know if Ree understands that it is a teddy bear. That's so painful. That is so fucking painful. Oh my god. Anyway, what we come to possibly find out is that the virus is mutating. And that's actually why the kid ended up turning into a zombie. Because one of the other people from the front, like the leader, he's the guy, he starts to turn. It's very slow, but you can clearly tell that that's what's going on. And it's just devastating. It is just so devastating. I can't. This, I think School Live is going to be like, I think I will rate this 5 stars because it's just like, at the same time, I'm also reading a lot of zombie stuff right now. It's like, I was reading this at work. Fuck, dude. I haven't read this in like 10 years. So it's like new to me, and it was just it's not new to me, but it's like new to me all over again, because like I only remember bits and pieces of it. But we just got to the part where one of the team has to sacrifice themselves so everybody else can get away. And it's just like, it's devastating. I can't take it anymore. I need a break. I need to read some BL or something, because it's just too much. It's simply too much. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am an emotional wreck. It is not good over here in my house. Oh god, I need to switch gears. Woo. Oh my god. Okay, well, while we're here, let's talk about the other stuff I read. Because I actually have read quite a bit. I read Golden Sparkle. This was a really, really sweet BL. It takes place in high school. It's these 2 young guys who end up falling in love that made me really happy. Basically, let me just read the back, girl. Himari Yuhata's first year of high school is off to a good start. Minus one problem, he keeps having wet dreams with only his mom and sister at home, and having skipped health class in middle school, he thinks it means there's something wrong with him. Thankfully, a new friend has just the remedy and teaches Himari exactly how to deal with those pesky dreams, but his solution only leads to more confusion, and the 2 find themselves navigating feelings they've never felt before. So this is Himari. Yeah, I didn't realize at the time, maybe I missed it, but yeah, he seems very, very naive. He clearly has an attraction to boys, but it's not that he realizes that immediately. He just knows that he's not attracted to women, or girls, I should say. Then you have, what is his name again? I can't remember. This dude. He is, I think, newer. Is he newer to the thing? I don't know. But, yeah, he's had girlfriends, but it's also very clear that he doesn't really like them. And he's been at co-ed schools for a long time. Now he's in an all-boys school, and he's thinking, okay, this will be perfect for me because I don't have to deal with these weird feelings and these situations that happen with girls. Girls obviously find him attractive. They want to date him. He really doesn't have any interest in him, but he goes with the flow, which is not good. Cut to, yes, they're entering into, discovering each other's bodies, their own bodies, girl. It's crazy, but it was also very sweet. I really appreciated the fact that I think they both gave each other space to be themselves, grow, communicate, have a misunderstanding, but come back together. It just really, like, there was the one moment where it's like this dude realizes that he literally, they are besties. They are like this. And it's to the point where people are like, oh, well, you guys must be dating. And because he doesn't want him to deal with like a gay rumor, he's like, okay, I'm just going to stop talking to him, which is never good. But the great thing is that the school that he's in, that's not what ends up happening. Actually, the guys that are around them, even though they do make that comment, you can tell that there's really nothing like hateful behind it. It's like they pick up that these two are very close, and the way that they are having a falling out comes off like they're breaking up or something. So it's like everybody else seems to realize like you guys like each other before they do. So I really liked Golden Sparkle. This was very cute. Then I finally finished, girl, I gotta blow my nose, Sweet Home. This was cute. This is like Home Sweet Home. This is a really, really cute, very short, very, very, very short, high school romance. Basically, you've got these two main characters. Her father is always going out of town, and she is like, look, I want to finish my high school year in this school. I don't want to keep moving. I want to stay here. And he's like, okay, you can stay at the house, but I think it was either you have to stay with your uncle if we can't find you a roommate. So the dad is talking to his boss, and his boss is like, oh, my kid can live in the apartment. I don't know what the disconnect, I can't remember the disconnect, but basically her dad thinks it's a girl based off of a picture that the boss sends, and it's him at their like school festival, and they did like cross-dressing. So he does look like a girl. I think he does have a sister. And like that's kind of like a joke to his dad, like, oh, but I don't remember if his dad realizes that. Well, he would have had to, because her dad would make it clear that it's a girl. I don't know, who am I? Anyway, they end up living together. Neither of them, maybe he knows that she's a girl, but she does not know that he's a guy. Obviously, that's an issue for her dad, but they eventually get it together, and then as they go on, they start to date. I thought this was really cute. I did really enjoy this. I will say it's hard for me to relate to characters like this who are like so, I hate to use this phrase, but annoyingly innocent. Granted, I'm 35. I had access to certain parts of the internet when I was probably way too young. But at the end of the day, I don't remember ever having like the kind of issues and like weird anxiety that she has. I know that that's normal though, but it's hard because I cannot relate. I did not have to struggle. Oh my God, I'm so scared to kiss my boyfriend. That's never happened to me. I've never been like freaking the fuck out about kissing someone or kissing Devin. We've been together for, it's gonna be 22 years next year. So we met very young. Both of us were young, but there was not that anxiety. There was not that anxiety of like, oh my God, the first time. That is normal. It's just annoying from her. I don't know why. I'm sorry. It's just something about it. It's just like, okay, girl, get over it now. Talk to your friend. Your friend probably knows all about, I don't know, pull up a website. Look at a little porn. Okay. I don't know. Read, girl, get on Tumblr at the very least. I mean, Jesus Christ. So it's just like her naivete. Is that what it is? Like her I don't know. I don't know how to put it in words, but I just don't like it. But besides that being kind of annoying, I still really, really, really like this story. I think it's very, very cute. Girl crush. Oh, I'm so glad I have the 4th volume. I will be picking that up soon, hopefully before the month is over. This is so good. I'm really, really enjoying this. I don't know if this will get an anime, but holy shit if it does. It would be fantastic, I promise you. This is 3rd volume, so it's really hard to like put it into words, but basically I really love this character too. She's so fucking cool. Our main chick, Tanka, she is now fully in a girl group in a completely different like production company or whatever than the main girl she came to Korea with. And she is definitely more like clearly been pushing hard to be an idol. Okay, cool. So she's been pushing hard to be an idol. Then they have a 3rd girl who is really good with singing. She's not coordinated at all. So it's really hard because these 3 girls, it's hard for them to work together because they're all so different. Tinka is basically the one who is designated as going to be the leader of the group. And she is basically working in this volume to bring them all together and figure out what their strengths and weaknesses are, and then whatever weaknesses there are, they need to work on them or find a way to adjust to whatever and get it together. And they have a month to pick a song, sing it, choreography for the first month's evaluation. And it causes an issue at first, but then they get it together and it's really, really cool. But at the end of this, there's somebody who might be wanting to sabotage them, which is sad to think, girl. I don't know much about the K-pop world. I only know like the few things that I know, which is not that much, but just like with any industry, it's very crazy, okay? There's a lot of bullying, whether it's from other people within the same industry. Maybe it's a director, producer, whatever. The fans even, girl, I'm scared for that. The thing I'm mostly freaked out about moving forward is I'm scared about the fact that we already had a weigh-in, and there was a comment made about Tinka's weight. She is obviously totally fine. She's fucking 16 years old. 15 or 16, and she looks fine. But I understand that, in the entertainment industry, there's a certain look you're supposed to maintain, and it's not healthy. Let's just say that, okay? It's rail thin, and I did not watch that. I think it's not just Cat's Eye. There was another documentary on Netflix about a K-pop idol group. I need to look into that, but the things I saw in clips from that on Twitter was horrifying. I just felt so bad, and I feel so bad for women in general, but especially young women in the industry. So I'm scared that will eventually come to be, but we will see. We will see. Okay, we got 2 more. All right. Demon Under the Waxy Moon. This was very, very cute. I liked this. Basically, you've got a main character. He can see ghosts. He's also an author, it seems. He has this girl who helps him. She doesn't really speak, but she likes candy. And she brings home a dog, which is basically a demon, which is basically this man here. And he ends up saving him. They end up kind of creating a contract, and they end up together. I thought it was really lovely, and I don't have much else to say about it. If this got like another story, I would love to see it. I would love to see them continuing on in life, just living. I love stuff like that. And lastly, the word I keep fucking up. Okay. Omega Magera? Magera? Girl, I'm gonna have to put that into, I don't know, some type of engine to tell me, some type of Google engine or whatever to tell me how the hell you pronounce this. So, this is really good. I will really be looking forward to reading this series. I think it is going to be very, very, very interesting. Basically, you're in an Omegaverse, but you're in an Omegaverse, and you've got the traditional shit that you're used to. Okay, actually, so I'm going to read the back for you guys with this one, and the font is very small, so let's look at that. Okay. Simon, an Omega, is shunned by his husband's family for being unable to bear children, but when his father-in-law tasks him with a special favor, it pushes Simon to spin a tangled web of deception, all to keep his place in the family. In a world where people have one of 3 sexes, alpha, beta, or omega, in addition to being male or female. Alphas have pushed their way to the top. Omegas are oppressed, their status determined by whether or not they are able to successfully bear alpha children. An omega named Simon marries into the prolific Hanabusa family, a major conglomerate, but is unable to produce an heir for his alpha husband, Saijiro, and is shunned as a Majira. One day, Simon is summoned by the family patriarch, Zenjiro, and ordered to locate the man's legitimate son. Simon finds the boy, Mamiya, who has been making a life for himself on the streets while hiding the fact that he's an Omega. Desperate to regain his position as Saijiro's top spouse, Simon proposes an audacious plan. Pass Mamiya off as an alpha heir and try to gain the headship of the Hanabusa family. Well, first of all, Simon wasn't the one that came up with the damn idea. It was that fucking granddad, who's also a sick fucking perverted pedophile. And I don't like him. But anyway, I feel like this is going to be one of the more interesting Omega verses I read because of the fact that the way that someone is treated when they don't have a baby and they are an Omega. I'm sure that also comes up in other Omega verses that I've read. It's just not been like a part of the story or a part of like the main Omega verse lore, just not a part of the stories that I was reading. But this is really interesting in the way that Simon is so desperate. It seems as though like we're dealing with like a fated mate situation. And instead of him going crazy, which is what I've seen in the past of like an alpha taking another lover, just giving polygamy in this one, girl. Like you could just have as many fucking wives as you want, as long as they're giving you children. But his is more like, we were supposed to be together forever. I'm only supposed to be your only spouse. So when his husband takes a bunch of other people because he can't bear children, and it's also seen as like a bad omen to a family if an Omega can't bear children, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, God forbid I can't have a damn child, but who am I? The fact that he will stop at nothing to get, because it's like he's gonna stop at nothing to get back with that man, but it's like, why do you even want to be with him? Because he doesn't seem to respect him at all. It seems like they loved each other, but Saijiro, is that his name? Yeah. So Saijiro, he's the one who is very like, look, this is just how it is. I have to have this. I have to do this. This is for the family. So I don't know that I think he loved Simon at one point in their relationship. But once we find out that he can't have children, it's like he becomes dead to him, which is just so sad, you know? It's tragic. Whew, girl. This is the kid. This is the kid, Mamiya. And he is an Omega. He's about to go into heat. I'm wondering, and this isn't necessarily a spoiler. This is just like my thoughts, but it might be considered a spoiler. Well, no, it's not a spoiler because it's just my theory. I think he's going to end up being like a fated mate to this person, which not good because they're technically related, right? So he is the son of, girl. Okay, so Mamiya here is the son of this old fucker, Zenjiro. So technically he is the grandfather of this kid, Iori. He's the son of Saijiro. So this is Saijiro. This is Simon, who was his first partner. And the grandpa can't basically say like, oh, this is my son. Because he raped a child. Sick pervert, fuck you. Who is that kid? I don't remember who that child is. We haven't met him yet. Have we? He don't look familiar, that's for sure. I think that these two are going to end up, I don't know, but like, oh, what the fuck? Like, that's his uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, something just seems weird. I'm getting a vibe. I'm getting a vibe because they keep interacting with each other. Now that he's in the family and trying to pass himself off as an alpha and he just went into heat, I'm scared. I'm scared that something's going to happen here, and it's like, they're related, okay? It doesn't matter that he's the son, like he would be the nephew. It doesn't matter. That's just my speculation. I don't know for a fact. But we will see. But in general, I would really like to see where this goes, because now it seems like somebody has figured out that he is actually an Omega. No one else, except for Simon, knows that he's actually an Omega. The grandpa thinks that he's probably an Alpha. Everybody else is just assuming because he hasn't gotten in his heat yet. But the other cool thing, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Simon used to be a teacher and like a scientist or whatever, and he was working on a pill, basically heat suppressant and shit. He was working on that. But the research got taken out, and all he could escape with was one pill. He knows how to kind of make everything, but he only has one pill to help Mamiya, who just went into his heat. So he has to produce these fucking pills so we can keep it going, because what he actually ultimately wants, in a way, is, because Simon is supposed to be acting like his dad to make it legitimate, because he's an alpha, but he sucks. He's not really good. He's not a leader. And the grandfather, who's the head of the household, technically his son, Saijiro, will be the next in line. But after him, it would be his firstborn daughter, who's an alpha. She's like perfect. She would be perfect to head the family, but she's a girl. And the grandpa doesn't want that. So it's really throwing everything off. At the least, everybody, I think, would have accepted the fact if it went to the second son, who is an alpha. But the fact that it's this dude, people aren't fucking with that. But on top of that, this isn't Simon's way to get back into the family, whatever. But I think what he really wants is for him to take over and either change everything for Omegas, maybe, or just to spite him. It's hard to say, but that's my theory. We don't know yet. Whew, my God, I'm out of breath. I can't even breathe up my fucking nose, Lord. Anyway, we're going to get back into reading. Also, today is Thursday. It's been a long day. I'm at home, obviously. I had to get my blood work done. Another day that you guys are here with me. The day I get my blood work done. Isn't it something? Whew. All right, well, I'm too scared to get back into this, but I feel like I should. I'm so close. It's only 12 volumes, so I feel like I should just knock this out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and knock out School Live. That will be one of the first things I finished in my 10 before the end list, which is what I'm wanting. So wish me luck, everybody. I know I will cry again. I fear the way that this will end will absolutely break me, but we'll see. Oh, and just as a little update, I just read the newest episode of Jinx. I'm so excited. That was really good. We're still in the sex, as I thought we would be. We're getting I think we're going to go for another one. I'm fine with it. But, okay, so here's a spoiler. So, Kim Dan and Jake Young, they're together. They're in Jake Young's hotel room. They're fucking all night long. But we have a new and improved Jake Young. He's far more attentive. Yeah, they're fucking, but as I said, they're making love now. Okay, they just ended on a kiss, like a makeout session. I think it's going to be super duper, I think we're going to move into a sensual situation. Kim Dan is losing himself in it all. He's wanting to turn his brain off and just be taken by the feelings. And that makes me happy. Like I said, I don't know exactly how many episodes it will be, but we've just, from what I know, it'll be in the hundreds. So once we get to 100, I don't know if 100 is where it ends or if it will continue to go on. Will we get side stories? I don't know. Because I really, really would like to see Potato and What's-His-Face. I want to see them. And there's other people maybe. I want to see Granny. I want to see the other old guy who used to be Jake Young's coach as well. We need some more. But basically, it's all leading to this big thing. And, okay, this is something. Okay, so here's some more spirit fingers. So on Twitter, someone made this thread and I was like, oh my God, I think this person is right. Or at least it would be interesting. I can take it or leave it if it goes this way. So their theory is because we know the last time there was a match, and it was sabotaged on purpose, and that is what drove the wedge between Jake Young and Kim Dan. We know that that was facilitated by the group over here, possibly also the loan sharks. So their theory is that the opposition will figure out that Kim Dan is his weakness, and they will kidnap Kim Dan. Now, Kim Dan's already paid off the debt in that Jake Young did it. So there really is no reason for him to be interacting with anybody from the loan shark side, but Jake Young is the one that beat everybody's ass. So it could also act as a double, like, oh, okay, we're gonna get back at him for what he did that one time. Even though he paid us, it was still the fact that he beat our ass. So I figure the guy who was, I don't remember what, the coach? I don't think it was the coach, I'm not sure, but the dude from Jake Young's past who fought him, and, you know, the only reason why he did what he did was because they sabotaged him. So we know that Jake Young and, you know, Team Black has been working in the background to get proof about what happened. So it's either going to be, okay, actually, I'm not even getting to the point. Sorry. So they think that, they were saying that they think that Kim Dan will get kidnapped, and they will basically say, you throw the match or we do whatever the fuck we're going to do to Kim Dan. I don't think that Jake Young will, and they, also their theory was that he might not throw the match. He's going to literally leave and go get Kim Dan. And he will lose, but it doesn't matter because the thing that's the most important to him is Kim Dan. Winning is no longer the most important thing to Jake Young. After losing Kim Dan, searching high and low for him, and then having that conversation with his former coach, Jake Young is fully like, Kim Dan is everything to me. This is the person I want to be with. And I found the thing that means more to me than winning. So he may leave, and then he loses the match. Or shit, maybe the other French guy finds out what's going on, and he's like, no, let's keep it, like, even though he may win, the French guy, but he'll be like, well, that's not a win, and I want a rematch. That would be an interesting other twist. But yes, it's either going to be that or, but then it's like, what would be the point of all of this stuff that's going on in the background? So I think that that's a really interesting theory. I think it would be fun to see. I just wouldn't want anything to like happen to Kim Dan. Like, I don't want him to be assaulted. I don't, you know, because what happens in his old apartment, like, that is extremely traumatizing. You know what I mean? Did they end up sexually assaulting him? No. Like, going all the way, but they still assaulted him physically. There was the threat of sexual violence, so obviously that is horrifying. And I think that was also like kind of a joke that might have been going on. I can't remember. Obviously, I'm going to be rereading Jinx. We already know this, but I need to go back and look and see like if that was also like an undercurrent that was being said to Kim Dan, because obviously Kim Dan is a very beautiful, cute man, and he's also petite, and I mean, he's just so adorable. I love him, but I'm wondering if that was also something that was reoccurring throughout, and I just missed it. But at the end of the day, they were considering doing that to him, and they almost went through with it until Jake Young saved him. So, if it's true that Kim Dan does get kidnapped, what an interesting development. But yeah, so I just wanted to give that little thing, but I'm feeling better. I don't think I'll cry. Yeah. Also, 2020 is back with a side story. I'm going to try to read that because, as you guys know, I did not enjoy the ending. I don't think many people enjoyed the ending, but I'm not trying to be rude to the creator because, I mean, it is what it is. If something is rushed because due to health, it just is what it is, dude. It sucks, but I would like more. And so there are side stories. That's what I want to see. I want to see who what's his face really is. Like what happened to his goons. I need to know that because I really, really, really liked the goons that he had around him, and we don't like hear anything about that. I want to know what happened with the guy with the pink hair who was in college with the other with our other main character. Like, I have to see that. I have to see it because that was fun. And because he had a crush on him, so I have to see that. So, yeah. I also need to catch up on a bunch of other stuff that I unlocked, but I realized that, like, recently I have not been reading manhwa, and I'm surprised. Like, I would be, like, really invested in some of this stuff, and I'm just not. So, I'm in a funk, Maybe I'm not, no, my focus is just pivoted to the physical stuff that I know that I'm supposed to read. So that's what it is. But who knows? I might get on another kick. I need to check back into Webtoon. I need to get back on TappyToon. I'm so many episodes behind on The Sacred Life of a Webtoon Artist, although that gets my blood pressure up. So it's hard for me to get back into that one. I'm behind on Love for a Walk, Remarried Empress, Childhood Best Friend Complex. So we're going to get back into it. Now I will be eating and then I will be going to work. So I will see you guys later, maybe in the car, who knows. But yeah. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day and I finished school live. Oh God, I have a tissue this time. Oh dude, last night, yeah, cried a lot. Then I read volume 10. Fuck. And then I took a break. Actually, no. That's right. No. I read 10 and 11. And I had to stop at 11. Because Deb and I were hanging out. And I was like, I have to be present for this. Oh my God. This was really, really, really good. I want to watch this anime. Although, Jesus, will I be... I mean, I already know what happens. But will I be able to deal with it again? Okay. I don't remember where we left off. Oh, well, where's volume 9? Oh, okay, that's right. I think where I left off was, finding out that, the girls were about to leave the college. We find out that Risan's little sister is actually a teddy bear, which absolutely devastated me. Kurumi, Yuki, Naoki, the original 4 are traveling and they take Shiko with them. She was the woman who was in the science lab and is wanting to figure out what's going on. They make it to Randall Corporation. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. Spoilers, by the way. I'm going to be talking about spoilers. They make it to Randall Corporation. They kind of start putting some pieces together, but like I've mentioned before, all these places that are associated with the Randall Corporation still have power, unless something happens, like at their original school when the helicopter fell. It just fucked everything up. Okay, so obviously it's a lab. It's got that high-tech AI, that like gives you answers and shit. So the AI is called Bowman. And it gives them information. It also can detect lies and truths. So once they get online, they start to get contacted from the soldiers on the soldier side of Randall Corporation. And what they end up finding out is that, well, I actually won't get into that because it's pretty long, but basically the people who are soldiers end up lying to the girls and they decide that they have to leave. So they at first are like, okay, they're going to save us, but Bowman detects that they're lying, but they don't exactly know what they're lying about. So like on one hand, it's like, okay, they're not coming to save us, but they are coming. So what does that really mean? So they decide that they have to leave, but Yuki has grown attached to, oh my God, I'm going to cry again. She's grown attached to Bowman. And Shiki, obviously she's the adult in this situation. And she's pretty blunt with the girls a lot of the time. But she, or at least not even blunt, she's just trying to take emotion out of it and try to be rational without any emotion attached. But Yuki convinces her to somehow put Bowman on a phone that still works. So at least they have something. And this is what really hurt. So, Yuki, she's so sweet. And she's like, oh, but, Bowman will be lonely. Oh, fuck. And I'm crying over a robot. And Bowman's like, he's like, I don't know. He's like, I was alone before you guys came here. I didn't interact with people in that way. And I was alone for a long time. But now that you're going to leave, I think I'll be lonely since I know what it was like to basically connect. That was so heartbreaking. That That was so heartbreaking for some reason. God, that was so heartbreaking. So, even though they've told the, okay, slow down, Connie. So, even though they end up leaving the Randall Corporation so that they're not picked up by the government, they explain to whoever is on the other end that they may have found a cure. And they start putting pieces together in that something like this happened before, and it also may have happened before that. They just don't have necessarily a way to figure out exactly what happened. Also, why is Kurumi, like what is going on with Kurumi? She's slowly deteriorating. She's obviously getting scared that she's going to turn into a zombie. And as they're on the run, pieces start to get put together. This is the next thing that really just devastated me. So, like I said, Shiko, she put Bowman on the phone and in a way for them to ask questions and get some answers. What's fire and what? Okay, girl, calm down. Okay. So they're interacting with Bowman. It's like a more simple version of the one that they were interacting with at the Randall Corporation. So they might ask it a question like, what should we do? How should we transport Kurumi? Because at some point she can't walk anymore and she's just asleep. And they get answers, but Shika, is it Shika? Or is it Shiko? Okay, now I'm fucking up. I'm sorry, I forgot. The doctor. We'll just say the scientist. She starts to amplify. She tells them that they have to get out of there before they go. Oh, not only that, okay. So they're on the run. They still have the van. The van crashes, so they get stuck somewhere. The scientist, she starts to amplify, and she locks herself down in the basement because they end up having to, like, hunker down in, like, an apartment, I think. And she doesn't know that she amplified. So she goes to find her, and she's already turned into a zombie, but she left the phone. Oh, fuck. She left the phone down there, and we find out that she was Bowman for Yuki and the girls. It was basically giving them hope. And she'd had a conversation with her. She was like, how do I not stress about this? And she was like, I don't think I can help you. She's like, why? And she's like, because I don't care. I don't care if I live. I don't care if I die. And the girl's like, but all of those things matter, because she lists some other things. And she's like, I know. That's why I can't help you. This is the only way that I can exist without being so stressed and basically breaking down. But even in the end, she tried to give them hope. And it was just so devastating, because the other thing she does to give them hope is she makes it seem like someone else is coming to save them. So she basically makes a plan to try to get them out of the area, away from the soldiers. So that was just so hard. Oh, because it's just like, there's so much loss in this. And it's so hard with these young girls are like just trying to keep going. They've experienced so much loss. She is still having flashbacks of her friend. We eventually see she had a conversation with Kurumi, and she was like about to kill herself because she forgot the friend. She forgot the friend that she was locked in the mall with, who left because she didn't want to stay there anymore. And she was like, I can't believe I forgot her. And Kurumi stops her, but it's just like, it's so hard. It's so fucking hard. Okay. God damn. All right. So at the end of, okay. So yeah, this devastated me. Then we got to 11 and moving into 12, to where basically they're just trying to get away from the soldiers that are coming to get them. They don't know what they're going to do. They end up figuring out what may be the cure and also what might be the cause. So they figure out that it was a bacteria, not a virus, that was in the water of the lake that fed, or body of water. I don't know if it's a lake or a pond or something. wouldn't be a pond, a lake, I don't know, a body of water, that got fed into their school, but because of the filtration system, that's what was suppressing Omega in Kurumi. So basically giving her immunity. They all technically kind of had immunity because they were consuming this water for so long, but when they left, that's when it started to get worse for her because she wasn't still drinking the water. So they know that they have to go back to the school because they want to save Kurumi. So they get back to the school. The school is fucked up. You know, all the work that they did originally to clear out certain floors, it's gone now. But they get back up there. Unfortunately, the generator's down, so there isn't necessarily a way for them to pump water, but they kind of manage it. But then she gets bitten. Oh my God. I thought she was going to die. But they end up having a little bit of water and she gets better. So now they know for a fact, like, okay, this is the cure. We have figured it out. But all of them kind of start to get separated. So she leaves originally to go get water. She gets bitten. She comes back, but she's out for the count. What can she do? She does give everybody the water, but they needed to go find something else, and I can't remember what. So then leaves. So now it's just these two, these two who are like damn near on death's door, even though they're okay now. But Yuki is the only one there, and she's like, "Fuck! Like I can't leave Ri out there." And they end up finding out. Almost forgot. There was a soldier in the school, but he ends up dying. I don't know if he amplifies or if he gets bitten or something. But he tells them what's actually going to happen is they're going to bomb this town because that's how they've done it in the past. But they're like, well, you can't do that. It's not just us. So they're basically, Yuki's like, I can't just let this happen because the girls at the school are still alive. And even though they've kind of been helped by the other girls with the use of a drone, they don't necessarily have a way to tell them. And they're like, well, we don't want other people who may also be alive out there to die. Like, we have a cure. We have to stop this. So Yuki leaves to try to find a radio to communicate with the military. So she ends up like far away. Oh God. We end up like seeing a flashback of her sister running from her. And I don't know, maybe I just didn't realize it or maybe we didn't see it, but the little girl that she was imagining that was actually a teddy bear, that she literally was picturing her real sister. That was so sad. That was so sad. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So she's separated. She's scared. She's being surrounded. Yuki finally finds a radio and she finally gets a chance to talk to someone. And just her explaining what's going on. And she's just like, I'm scared. It was so sad. But luckily, we time skipped to 3 years. And the girls were not killed. The place was not bombed. We find out that the soldiers were still alive. They were not agreeing on the situation. There were the group of people who did not want to bomb the city and wanted to save the girls, and the other ones who were like, no, we just have to get rid of everything. And when Yuki said something to them, finally was like the people who were against killing everybody kind of overthrew the other group and stopped them from nuking the fucking city. Okay, slow down. And, calm down, Connie. We see them 3 years later. We see that all the girls are alive. The one girl had her baby. She had her baby, and she's in school, and she's getting taught by Yuki because she decides to become a teacher, like their teacher. Oh my God. Jesus. So yes, okay. This was so good. This was so sad. I didn't really know how this was going to end. I was so scared. And now, now some things make sense that we were seeing throughout the series. So I'm wondering, because like Devin asked me last night, and funny story, when I was explaining everything, he was like, Connie, and obviously through sobbing tears, he's like, he said something like, it's crazy how with you crying, this is the this is the best way that you've ever told a story. When you cry, it's like you are capable of keeping on track. Oh, it may be true, but when I was like going through, like he had asked a question of like, so what's the time period? And it's like, I can't actually tell how quickly or slowly everything is happening. We know that in the beginning, the girls have been alone, but we don't know how long they've been alone. And we don't know how long is the span of time between them leaving their original school and going to the college. Obviously, everything is within driving distance, so it can't be but so long. But like sometimes when they're traveling, like it's night and day, it's night and day, it's night and day. So, but I don't know if this is all taking place in a month or in 2 months. So it's like, it's hard to tell the passage of time necessarily. But then I was like, oh, light bulb moment, because I was like, why did that, in like a few volumes ago, when the guy is in the helicopter and the helicopter crashes, I was like, but why did that happen? But now it makes sense. Because people were amplifying spontaneously, that's most likely what happened. He turned into a zombie as he was flying the helicopter. And then the picture that someone was holding of the girls together, I wonder if it wasn't that we were kind of seeing the future. I don't know, but like things are happening simultaneously at the same time. That's the other thing. Certain things are happening at the same time. So that gets kind of confusing, but not in a bad way. But like you clearly see a soldier holding a thing that says, the girls. It shows a picture of the girls. So I'm wondering if what we saw wasn't necessarily like, it was like present, but like in the same timeline. So maybe that soldier who was in the school when he ends up dying with her, when she gets bitten, if he was the one who was holding that picture because he was searching the school. Because we do see soldiers go into the school, but you don't know did it happen before or after. So, girl, I gotta blow my nose. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try not to make this video too long, since I've spent like 20 minutes or 30 minutes talking yesterday, and now I'm almost at 20 minutes. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna get it together. Whew, but oh my god, this was so good. I would rate this 5 stars. Like I said, I want to watch the anime, but this was amazing. Resilience, human resilience, the power of friendship, sticking together, sticking it out. My god, it was just absolutely heartbreaking, but also like extremely hopeful. I mean, these girls have been through so much, and in the end, they're all not together anymore. They're off doing, their own things, right? So Yuki's a teacher. She works in the government now to help like reconstruct everything. Kurumi, she is studying to be a doctor. She's an author, and she's like traveling across the country and possibly around the world, you never know, writing stories. And it's a call back to the conversation she had with the girl from the college who was like she kind of shut herself into the library, and she was like, well, this is great because I have access to all these books. And she was like, we have to preserve these. But then they have this conversation. She's like, but I want there to be more new books. I don't want it to just end at this, Girl, 10 out of 10. But I have to start getting ready for work. I just knew I had to sit down and finish this one because I finished 11 last night, picked up 12. I was like, oh, I gotta do this. And it was so good. So good. Let me blow my nose, y'all. Whoo, Lord, this got me good, but holy shit, I'd recommend. But I will figure out what I'm going to bring with me. Obviously, like, whatever's going on here. I need to start Community Doke and Tokyo Ghoul. After these two, I need to, like, these three, actually, I need to get into these, girl. These are on those lists. 10 before the end. Also need to finish this, Lord. So we've got a lot of stuff going on, but we're going to have fun. And today's going to be a good day. And I'll see you guys later.